The technology already exists to build a weapon that could bring a country like the United States to its knees. A weapon so powerful, it could completely obliterate an entire infrastructure. To find out more, I have to make my way to one of the most isolated and remote locations in the United States. It's also where the story of EMP began. Up ahead is the largest military installation in the United States, with over 3,000 square miles of testing ground. The base first came to prominence in 1945 with the explosion of the world's first atomic bomb.
Our need is pressing for a nearby test site. This is called Ground Zero.
Back then, the work concentrated on trying to perfect the ultimate nuclear weapon. Today, ironically, it's all about defending ourselves against it.
And as you might expect, there are some humdingers in the way of gadgets.
The equipment might have changed a little, but White Sands is still researching the effects of a nuclear blast. It may not look it, but in a way, this is the modern equivalent of an atomic bomb.
What is this device? What's this thing do?
This is an EMP simulator. We use this facility here to simulate the effects of a high-altitude nuclear explosion.
It doesn't produce a mushroom cloud or nuclear fallout, but this device plays a vital role in preparing America's defense force against the unthinkable.
The military uses this testing facility for what?
Currently, we test all Army systems here. Our commanders need to know that in the event of a nuclear detonation on the battlefield, that they'll still be able to operate.
But the modern military relies heavily on ultra-high-tech systems. Is it really ready for an EMP attack?
EMP would be very dangerous to the U.S. Armed Forces.
General Wayne Downing was in charge of the U.S. Special Operations Command.
Because we are a highly technological force, we use sophisticated electronic gear. You know, you've got sensors, you've got communications devices, you've got computers. The battlefield is the ultimate system.
And if today's military hardware was suddenly wiped out, our only short-term line of defense would be to go back to basics.
Which means we'd have to dust off our lensatic compasses on our maps. And that's why when we train today, you still got to train under conditions without your technology. EMP could cause us a lot of heartache.
I've come to White Sands Missile Range to see for myself what an EMP attack might actually do. This device creates the same electromagnetic pulse that's given off by a nuclear blast. The pulse doesn't affect people, only electronics. But just to be on the safe side, Russ and I retreat to a safe distance.
Touching in the area will now fire the EMP pulsar charging. 10.
This remote control helicopter is about to fly through an electric discharge of close to 1,000,000 volts.
5.
And yet the most sinister thing about it
3. 2.
is there's no flash, no bang.
Yeah, you got it. There you go. There you go. Excellent work. Excellent work. Man,
In an instant, the helicopter circuitry is completely fried.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. 1 second you're in the air, next second you're on the ground. Not a good way to go through the day, especially if you're in an airplane. Let's go take a look at it. Flying along just like that. He's doing a great job. Next thing you know, just one little click, and boom, right out of the sky.
If you have a nuclear detonation, you get an electromagnetic field, and it's a transient pulse. And this transient pulse is very quick, it's very fast, and what it does, if you see a power line, what it'll do is that electromagnetic field will couple to that power line. And so anything that's an antenna, anything that's a cable, anything that's long, this electromagnetics will couple to it and then send a current down that cable to whatever you have at the end of that cable. And if you have sensitive electronics, such as this computer here, you may see a upset or an effect on your electronics because of that.
So anything that has circuitry, anything that has antennas, anything that has wires that has, on any level, voltage already going through it, the electromagnetic pulse will act like a surge, a giant surge.
It is a surge, and what it does is it creates a spike, kind of like the same thing that happens in a lightning storm.
For the ultimate test, I'm going to put myself right into the line of fire by driving a vehicle through the pulse. The fuel tank has been specially prepared using pressurized nitrogen to prevent an explosion. Even so, this isn't exactly standard procedure.
They've assured me that when the pulse radiates, that the car will not explode. So I'd like to say to my family, I love you. And to the camera guys and the cameras, they have to leave because they can't stay around for the shot. So let's see what happens.
Attention in the area will now fire the impulsor charging.
Here we go.
5, 4,
Get a little momentum.
3, 2, 1.
I'm still alive. The car isn't. The car is officially dead.